The 1969 to 1970 season was the 24th season of the National Basketball Association. The season began October 14, 1969 and ended on March 22, 1970. The number one draft pick was Lou Alcindor, who would later choose to be called by his Muslim name, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Spotware, what's going on? This is NBA Rap. Those are some quick facts about this season. Let's get into the team records. Leading the league in the East were the New York Knicks with the 60-22 record, followed by the Milwaukee Bucks 56-26, Baltimore Bullets 50-32, and Philadelphia 76ers 42-40. Missing the playoffs in the East were the Cincinnati Royals 36-46, Boston Celtics 34-48, and Detroit Pistons 31 wins, 51 losses. The West was led by the Atlanta Hawks with a 48-win, 34-loss season, followed by the Los Angeles Lakers 46-36, Chicago Bulls 39-43, and Phoenix Suns 39-43. Missing the playoffs in the West were the Seattle Supersonics 36-46, San Francisco Warriors 30-52, and San Diego Rockets 27 wins, 55 losses. Finally, if you've been watching NBA Rap since the beginning, you know I've been waiting for the Knicks to have their time to shine. Comment below what you think so far, anything about the NBA, past or present. Let's get into the season leaders and all-star game. Starting this season, the stats leaders were now decided by averages rather than totals. The scoring champion was Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 31.2 points per game. The rebounds leader, Elvin Hayes of the San Diego Rockets, averaging 16.9 rebounds per game. Assist leader went to Lenny Wilkins of the Seattle Supersonics, averaging 9.1 per game. The 1970 NBA All-Star Game was the 20th All-Star Game and was played at the Spectrum in Philadelphia on January 20th, 1970. In one of his final All-Star appearances, Willis Reed of the New York Knicks claimed MVP honors in a 21-point, 11-rebound performance as the East won 142-135. The Eastern Conference stars were Billy Cunningham and Hal Greer of the Philadelphia 76ers, John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics, Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, and Dave DeBusschere of the New York Knicks, Lou Alcindor and Flynn Robinson of the Milwaukee Bucks, Gus Johnson of the Baltimore Bullets, Oscar Robinson and Tom Van Arsdale of the Cincinnati Royals, and Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons. They were coached by Red Halsman of the New York Knicks. The Western Conference stars were Jerry West and Elgin Baylor of the Los Angeles Lakers, Elvin Hayes of the San Diego Rockets, Connie Hawkins and Dick Van Arsdale of the Phoenix Suns, Lou Hudson, Joe Caldwell, and Bill Bridges of the Atlanta Hawks, Chet Walker of the Chicago Bulls, Jeff Mullen and Nate Thurman of the San Francisco Warriors, and Bob Rule and Lenny Wilkins of the Seattle Supersonics. They were coached by Richie Guerin of the Atlanta Hawks. Let's get into our award winners of the season, and you know we need that Rookie of the Year award here in Spa World. Please leave a like. Please sub up if you're new, it helps a lot. The MVP of the season went to Willis Reed of the New York Knicks. The Rookie of the Year went to Lou Alcindor of the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Coach of the Year went to Red Halsman of the New York Knicks. The All-NBA first team consisted of Billy Cunningham of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 26.1 points per game, 4.3 assists per game, and 13.6 rebounds per game. Connie Hawkins of the Phoenix Suns, averaging 24.6 points per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 10.4 rebounds per game. Willis Reed of the New York Knicks, averaging 21.7 points per game, 2 assists per game, and 13.9 rebounds per game. Walt Frazier of the New York Knicks, averaging 20.9 points per game, 8.2 assists per game, and 6 rebounds per game. And Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 31.2 points per game, 7.5 assists per game, and 4.6 rebounds per game. The All-NBA second team consisted of Lou Hudson of the Atlanta Hawks, averaging 25.4 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, and 4.7 rebounds per game. Gus Johnson of the Baltimore Bullets, averaging 17.3 points per game, 3.4 assists per game, and 13.9 rebounds per game. Lou Alcindor of the Milwaukee Bucks, averaging 28.8 points per game, 4.1 assists per game, and 14.5 rebounds per game. John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics, averaging 24.2 points per game, 6.8 assists per game, and 7.8 rebounds per game. And Oscar Robinson of the Cincinnati Royals, averaging 25.3 points per game, 8.1 assists per game, and 6.1 rebounds per game. The NBA All-Defensive first team consisted of Dave DeBusschere of the New York Knicks, Gus Johnson of the Baltimore Bullets, Willis Reed of the New York Knicks, Walt Frazier of the New York Knicks, and Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers. The NBA All-Defensive second team consisted of John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics, Bill Bridges of of the Atlanta Hawks, Lou Alcindor of the Milwaukee Bucks, Joe Caldwell of the Atlanta Hawks, and Jerry Sloan of the Chicago Bulls. Making the All-NBA rookie team was Dick Garrett of the Los Angeles Lakers, Mike Davis of the Baltimore Bullets, JoJo White of the Boston Celtics, Lou Alcindor of the Milwaukee Bucks, and Bob Dandridge of the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's get into the most important part of the season, the playoffs. This year's NBA playoffs began on March 25th, 1970. The Eastern Division semifinals saw Milwaukee defeating Philadelphia 4-1 and New York defeating Baltimore 4-3. The Western Division semifinals saw Atlanta defeating Chicago 4-1 and the Los Angeles Lakers defeating Phoenix 4-3. The Eastern Division finals saw New York defeating Milwaukee 4-1 and the Western Division finals saw the Lakers defeating the Atlanta Hawks 4-0. The 1970 NBA Finals began on April 24th, featuring the New York Knicks versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The 1970 NBA Finals were the first to be nationally televised in full, with ABC providing the coverage. New York took Game 1 in the legendary Madison Square Garden, winning 124-112. Behind Jerry West's 34 points and Wilt Chamberlain's 24 rebounds, the Lakers were able to take one on the road, winning 105-103 in Game 2, tying the series. With 3 seconds to go in Game 3, Jerry West hit a desperation buzzer-beating 60-foot shot to tie the score at 102 and force overtime. Despite that, the Knicks held it down to win 111-108. Game 4 saw another OT, with the Lakers taking the win 121-115 behind 37 Jerry West points. Knicks star center Willis Reed tripped on Wilt Chamberlain's foot and left during the first half. However, New York took Game 5 back in the Garden, 107-100, powered by a Walt Frazier double-double. The Lakers dominated back home in California, 135-113. Without Willis Reed to keep Wilt in check, he dominated with 45 points and 27 rebounds. The final game of the series was named by ESPN in 2010 as the greatest Game 7 in finals history, featuring a return from injury for Willis Reed. Reed's most famous performance took place on May 8, 1970, in a Game 7 played at Madison Square Garden. Due to a severe thigh injury suffered in Game 5, a torn muscle that kept him out of Game 6, he was considered unlikely to play in Game 7. Reed surprised the fans by walking onto the court during warm-ups, prompting widespread applause. Starting the game, he scored the Knicks' first 2 field goals on his first 2 shot attempts, his only points of the game. He then played defense on Wilt Chamberlain, limiting him to 2 shots made in 9 attempts. When Reed left for good with 3:05 left in the first half, the Knicks led 61-37. Walt Frazier took it from there, finishing with 35 points and 19 assists as the Knicks won the championship, 113-99. Spot World, that's wraps on today's episode of NBA Rap. Shout out to the Knicks, man, 1970 NBA champions. If you want to learn more about ball, you can do that right